All right, good morning, you guys. All right, we are getting ready to do a little review for my art classes of how to draw a grid on a piece of paper for an artwork, a gridded artwork, a gridded drawing that we're going to do. Today in my classes we have just been trying to get to this stage where we have a 1 inch by 1 inch grid on a 9 by 12 piece of paper. I would say 95% of the students did a really nice job, but there are a few that might need to watch this video again, and I'll put this out through Canvas so that you guys could check it out if you want to improve your grid before we start the actual drawing. So this part was pretty simple. We're going to start with our piece of paper and a pencil, a sharp pencil. Of course, the more precise you are on your grid, the better. So, you know, go with the more precise pencil. All right. Also, a ruler. I've been talking to the kids about taking care of the rulers. We don't want to dent the edges. We want to keep them nice and crisp so our lines can be crisp. Okay. So we're going to start off by measuring 1 inch intervals on each side of this paper. So one thing I had to talk about in class is the edge of the ruler in this particular ruler is not the beginning. It's this line here. This line is the start. I line up this little line, it's basically 0, with the edge of my paper. And then I'm going to make a little V shape at each inch. Okay, make one at the 2, make one at the 3, and so on. The little V is so that when I'm lining up to draw my lines, I'm not lining up with, you know, if I just did one little dash line, I might end up lining up with the wrong side of it. Again, the little V will show me right where that mark is, and it'll be more precise. All right, we're going for precision. And if we go for precision and we get close and it's not perfect, at least it will be close, right? Now, again, line up my paper. I usually have a stack so I don't pick up any textures in my table. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom of the paper. So I have my little V marks at each inch all the way along the top. And then I'll do the same thing at the bottom. Line these up, a little V mark. Now, I was telling the kids in class I usually would draw a lot lighter if I were doing this on my own. This part would be kind of light, like a sketch would be light. However, I'm always doing this on the big screen, on the projector for the kids. So, what I like to do is draw it pretty heavy in order to see that. I can see here my paper is about 1/16 of an inch off, which, that's okay. Everything line I measured from this side going this way. I measured from this side going this way. So any irregularities should be off the edge of this side, okay? If I were to measure from this side going this way and this side going that way, well then I might have 1/8 of an inch off, you know? Anyway, I'm going to carefully line up my ruler with the little arrow of the V. And I say carefully because I've seen a few people today kind of getting a little sloppy lining it up. I like to put my pencil there right where I want it and then rotate the ruler to right where I need it and draw my line. Okay, go here, put my pencil here, bump my ruler up to it and draw that line each time. Okay, again, I am drawing it heavier. If you were doing a gridded drawing and you wanted the grid to disappear at the end, it'd be a lot easier if you didn't draw this heavy. But I am doing the gridded project and my is going to be very visible so everybody can see it when we start not just the grid, but when we start our drawing tomorrow. So tune in each day. I will try to make a video of what we're doing each day. There will probably be a different drawing for each class of the day, but I'll at least get an example of one of them on video each day. All right. Now, the last line here, line it up carefully. Remember, measure twice, cut once. Although we're not cutting, we're drawing. So now I have lines that should be parallel with this edge of my paper. Okay, now, I did notice a couple kids that were trying to do these lines. They would just measure one side and then they were kind of winging it on the other side. We have to measure both sides to get it perfectly parallel. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing on the short end. I'm going to line up my ruler with that little 0 mark. I need to move up here, right here. And then I'm going to make a mark at every inch. Now, I told the kids this morning, this is not something that I really learned. I learned how to draw grids in art and stuff like that. But the actual marks that I make, the little V, I learned doing trim carpentry and stuff. You have to really be precise if you're laying some baseboard or doing some trim work. So, I moved my ruler over to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. Make a mark at every inch. At every inch. And then again, I will connect all those lines. All right. Now, I always like to turn my paper. You could do it however you prefer. I'm going to line this edge up here and draw that line. Line this one up. And draw the line. And just a few more and this will be ready for tomorrow's drawing. Now, my plan for the drawing is to have drawings already gridded and posted onto Canvas for everybody to have access to. We will start and talk about that whole process tomorrow. Now, almost done. I want to show, after I get done here at the end, you can see my ruler. I wish it was a little bit longer. I am getting a little curved at the very end, but we'll make that work. All right. And one more line. One more line. There we go. Now, there is my grid. All right. You can see that I have marks at the top, at the bottom, on both sides. Throughout the day today, I'll just show a few without. Here's some student examples. You can see this student actually started with pen and then switched to, actually it looks like pen the whole way. I would do this with pencil, although maybe they had an erasable pen. We'll see. Here you can see this student was lining these up a little bit off there. You can see once you're a little bit off, here it's way off. It looks like a few of them they were and then a few of them they weren't. And then on this side, I see marks that the lines aren't at, and this side I don't see any marks. So just to show you what we're dealing with here. This student, great job, except something went awry right here, right on this line. That could be easily fixed. This one looks perfect. This one looks perfect. This is my 3rd hour class here. We'll just look at a couple more, if I can get them apart. All right, now this one here, this student tried to freehand the line. They do have marks, but not little V's, but little marks on this side. Oh, did it freeze? There we go. Little marks on this side, but here there were no marks. They were just putting one mark and just going. So that, I think, was just an issue of not really paying attention to what I was doing. Perfect one here. excellent here. There's a few little things off. I could see this might end up a touch distorted right here. This isn't all square. This also is not all square. This one has some different squares here. I see a big one, a little one. That could be issues. That's why I'm doing this video, so people could fix it. I see some real good squares right in this row, but this one looks a little rectangular. You can see they're not really lining up to their marks on this side. This side they did. So that's the attention to detail that we need. That's just kind of some examples of how some of the students have been doing this. It's quite a variety of, I was saying like 90% perfect, but it looks a little less than that. But we'll get through it. There's some really nice ones in here. So I think we'll stop there. Tomorrow, stay tuned. We will start some drawing. There'll probably be some people fixing their grids tomorrow. So don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that little bell, and I'll see ya. Oh, I gotta turn it off. Okay, I'll say see ya.